certain kind of jobs. Surely, people in the military can relate to it, but when you say, okay, I'm not gonna see my family for 6-7 months at a time, when you have young kids and stuff like that, it's you better give all. You better go and leave it all on the field. You better not go screw around and say, oh, I'm not gonna dive that deep. That's how I do. Look, there's some actors that I think can just sort of show up, and that's, unfortunately, I'm just not that good. That's not how I work. It's not how I wish I could sometimes. I wish I could just be on my phone and then jump in. Like it ain't me. I can't do it. I have to dive in there. So yeah, definitely they stay with you, and you learn something. You learn something about yourself, your outlook on the world. I mean, yeah. I mean, shit. I still look for zombies in the woods. I'm not scared of them. I just be looking for them. You know what I mean? Seriously.
Next question.
Yeah, I'd like to know, what is your opinion on the Mandela effect?
On the who what?
The Mandela effect.
Don't look at me. Like Nelson Mandela?
No, well, it's either false memories or the past is retroactively changing. Like Luke, I am your father, and then some people say it changed to no, I'm your father. And James Earl Jones even says he remembers it as no, I'm your father, and then C-3PO now has a silver leg, and most people remember him all gold. And the Berenstain Bears versus Berenstain.
Bro, I got no idea what you're talking about. You know what I mean? No, I appreciate you. I wish I did.
Thanks, everybody. That was fun.
Yeah. Right on, man.
Is it Berenstain or Berenstein?
You look cool, man.
Yeah. So we saw you in The Accountant, which was phenomenal. Opposite Ben Affleck. And then now in Daredevil Season 2, opposite Charlie Cox. My question is, what was it like to beat up two Daredevils?
Look, man, Charlie's tough, man. Charlie's he goes for it, he gives it all. And you can't say enough good about Ben. But that was another one, man. Gavin O'Connor. If you haven't seen his other films, the guy who directed, he's a guy I wanted to work with so bad. He did Warrior and Pride and Glory, and Miracle is a great movie, and he's a great filmmaker. Yeah, that didn't even answer your damn question. Did you want to answer that question? I love fighting anybody, man.
I think that probably my favorite episode of Daredevil is the rooftop scene.
Yeah.
Of why do you think you're better than me kind of thing. I think it's just genius. What was your favorite scene of film? If there's that one, then we can just move right on.
For which? For Daredevil?
Yeah.
Favorite scene. I mean, most fun was the prison scene. There's a level of the stunts. The unsung heroes of our business is stunts, and they're always, when I can do a job, the people I'm close with is the Teamsters and the stunt department. They're always just the guys that I get along with the best. And for me, Phil Severa, he's a stunt coordinator on Daredevil, and and Eric Linden, these guys are true geniuses. I mean, Phil has a truly sick mind, to think all that shit up. And what's great about it is, look, I'm a fighter, I'm a boxer. I pride myself on I think the way that a character fights, the way that a man deals with violence is very important to how you play a role, and it's got to be specific and it's got to be real. And that's Phil's kind of mantra. What I dig about those shows is, when you do a fight scene for The Accountant, you can rehearse it for 3 months, you got 2 weeks to shoot it, you can perfect every little move. But when we did that prison scene, the prison fight, we kind of learned it that day while we were shooting other shit. We had an afternoon, we had one half of the day after lunch to shoot it, so you gotta do it in one take. Sometimes you just gotta hit people are gonna get hurt, people aren't gonna, they're gonna be different when it's over than they were when it's started. People will look different. And everybody we all sort of agree, and they're bad dudes, man. They're like, hey man, just bring it on, we're gonna bring it on to you. And if you can get that I like that. I like when stunts, I like when fighting in movies is charged. I like when there's something that could potentially go wrong. And I know that's probably rub people the wrong way, but I like it when our back's against the wall and we're racing time and we've got to get it right. We've got to do it. That, you know, I think there should be that sense of danger. It should be there. And I love doing that. I thought that was a really fun scene to shoot. As far as Daredevil goes, the scene that I'm most grateful for was the scene by the grave when I got to talk about my family. You know, when an actor gets a gift like that, you know, the man who wrote that is a guy named John Kelly. He's a Marine, and he fought in Desert Storm, and you know, I feel like only a real soldier could have written that, and I'm quite guilty of changing dialogue and fighting for things to be a little bit different. I did not change a freaking letter, you know. It was just this perfectly written speech, and I felt that if you let Frank say that, then you can have, you know, the balls to go full. You can go full out on it when it's time for him to be brutal. Be brutal because of that, because you've earned it, because that's what's behind all of it, you know, and it was such a gift. And it's a super hard thing it's a super hard speech. I was just really grateful for it.
I want this show so bad. Next question.
Hey, John.
Hey, bud.
Big fan.
Thanks, man.
And I wanted to ask you, Punisher is kind of a complex character.
Who is?
Punisher.
Oh, okay.
Well, I just wanted to know, how do you feel his time in the army, taking a bullet to the brain, how has that affected his psyche, and how does that affect the way you play him?
Look, I mean, I think it's all part of it. You know, the way I look at it is, you know, his time in the military is something sort of separate, which I can't really talk about what we're going to address, you know, in this first season. But to me, you know, the character that was in Daredevil season 2, you know, that wasn't the Punisher to me. You know, that was a man who, you know, this trauma, this traumatic event that went down. You know, he's still very much reeling from that. He's still very much, everything in his life was in reaction to that. He's not a guy who's looking to rid the criminal element of Hell's Kitchen. He could care less about that. He doesn't care about getting bad guys. He wants to find every single person who had anything to do with his family's death and kill them in as brutal a way as possible. To watch them die, to watch them breathe their last breath, to watch it. And, you know, look, some people, for me, I think my job as an actor is not to sort of say, is this guy a good guy or is this a bad guy? My job is to open my heart and empathize. And I'm a father, and I'm a husband, and I don't think I could do that part if I wasn't that. And until you know how to love something way more than yourself and gladly give your life for it, can you begin to understand what it would potentially be like to lose something like that? And that's something I take super seriously. So I think Frank in Daredevil, you know, it's not about the military, it's not about the bullet to the head, it's all about that event. Every single moment is about that event. And the only way he knows how to quell the noise, the only way he knows how to just is to go get him, you know?